Det jeg tenker at du kommer ødelegge.
Ja.
Hva er det du trenger?
Skjermbøker. Nei, men da setter jeg ned journalister og sånn.
Ja, skal jeg bare ta med?
Ja.
Vi skal 20.
Jeg vil at på 18 så kan jeg få den til å signere litt.
Ja.
Men det var ikke mine. Ja. That's the review.
Oh.
So that's, top mark.
Oh, it is?
Must you have. You must have.
Oh, okay.
This one you must have. Yeah. So they're tipping that you're actually entering the chart as number 1.
Oh.
Which is fun. Have you been number 1 in any other concerts? Good or not? Har du penna?
So did you get the meal?
No.
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 Okay,
Yeah.
Well, how's the reception in the States compared to Europe?
I guess it depends where we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Middle America seems rough.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's more college kind of more football orientated. You know what I mean? Middle America.
Yeah.
The people that vote for Bush. But it's easy to play New York or bigger cities,
Yeah. Probably more of a scene for you, but.
Yeah.
But what do you think about Europe? What do you think is the connection with you guys and Europe? It's going so well here.
Well, you ever notice how when an American says, "Hey, how's it going?"
Yeah.
To a European, and a European actually tells you what's going on, and an American means, oh, I just meant hi.
Yeah.
That's the difference. It's like that's the way our music is. Our music really means, how are you doing? And it's like a long conversation. And most American bands have short hi-bye conversation, and I think maybe that's why some Europeans appreciate it. Maybe. Yeah.
That was a nice explanation. Katrine, vi ruller av går, vi.
Ok.
Ja. Eller, men vi vet at han kommer, men jeg vet ikke snakke høyt. But I'm surprised with the direction you took with the new album. That it's even, because you had nice write-ups on the previous one as well.
Right,
and I thought, it looks like you lived a complete life on your own. To do whatever you want to do. And have a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely. I think more bands should do that,
Why don't they?
Probably just because the public demands something else, Just seems like it.
Was that a reason why After Driving just ended? Changed directions or?
Yeah, it seemed like there's more public demand on what they wanted to see from us, as far as like performance, We were kind of like, when At the Drive-In came to town, it was like the circus came to town. You knew that Omar and I were going to jump around and freak out, And so after a while, it just kind of got old, and the music called for that, It was very limiting. But above all, it was because we were tired of the music, We wanted to make something that was... We kept asking, can we improv more on these parts, or can we... When you have to have band meetings about wanting to take your music way out there more, if you have to have band meetings about it, and more than once, then you probably don't belong in a relationship. It's like being in a relationship with a woman and saying, can we have crazier sex? Instead of just having it, Then, if you don't have to talk about it, then your relationship's probably going to be good, later on the line. Or just, can we entertain each other a little more, And you'll probably have a longer relationship with the person because you'll keep each other guessing and, playing with the drummer that we do and the bass player that we do now and Ike and everyone that's in the band now and our sax player. It's nothing but left turns all the time, You don't know what's going to fall apart or what's going to keep going, so I'm a lot more interested in it.
Here's your water.
Cool.
Do you want some?
Yeah, someone's making it, please.
Thank you. Make yourself useful, girl. Your record company
Thanks.
people. Vi bare fortsetter å snakke om det. No, so what's the intention when you go into the studio, the two of you? How do you work as opposed to at the drive-in?
Well, at the drive-in was like, in my opinion, because I'm sure everyone else, even outside at the drive-in and people in at the drive-in will have a different opinion. But to me, it was a failed attempt at democracy. There was too many cooks in the kitchen, and we would always try to have all songwriting credited to the band. And therefore, we made compromised art, and the stuff that we listen to and the stuff that we watch on television and cinema, it was always about, not compromising your art. My favorite TV show is Twin Peaks. There's no way in hell I think that David Lynch would, compromise more than 80% of his intent, So when you're, in a band with 5 other people and it's just too many cooks in the kitchen and you make watered-down stuff sometimes, You may not think it at the time. At the time you might think, yeah, this is a good effort, but then, like all art, 5 years later you think, or a year later you think, what were we thinking? Why don't we just trust the instinct of 2 or 1 person to, lead the thing, And so with this band, it's Omar leads. He writes all the stuff. He creates all the skeletons on his guitar, acoustic or electric, and then he brings it to our drummer, and our drummer has to dissect it, and then from there we all just kind of put our parts in, It's kind of like, I always compare it to, seeing the making of certain David Lynch movies. He never tells the actor why. There's no motive, most actors go, what's my motivation? Why do I do this? Why am I crying? Why is this scene, whatever? He just tells them kind of to go in and do it, and that's the way Omar is. Everyone is kind of in the dark, and it's just this leap of blind faith, and you see the final product when the final product's done, and sometimes I'm a little bit more in on what's going on, but sometimes I'm as in the dark as most of the players are in the band, but it's fun that way,
Mm-hmm. But is that something about being submissive to that, that you actually decides that he's going to do everything? Is that just something that's liberating for a band? Do you think so? That more people would, if they decided on...
Right. It is more liberating that way, because I think the true, honest form of democracy comes with the live show, because we have those pockets of in the song where we can just kind of go wherever we want to, and then that's really everyone speaking out loud and having conversation, and we can just rely on the studio stuff to be, from Omar, and it's just good chemistry, so I wouldn't want to question it, and I'm just, going with what I feel is good, and so,
Yeah, but it's amazing. I mean, because I think that's one of the people. I just met Interpol, and they were talking about this democracy of the band.
Yeah.
They are having meetings all the time,
Yeah.
and they're equal. And you could tell this is just going to pieces.
Yeah, it
They're
is.
not going to survive.
Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard when so many people say, no, the record cover should be primer colored, or it should be black, but there's some outside force that's using you as an antenna, and if you just keep putting categorization over everything and talking about it too much, then you're an actor, you're a method actor, you're not a musician, and therefore you're blocking whatever transmission you're getting from wherever it comes from, and therefore you're making this compromised art, and it's not as subversive or, as overindulgent as it should be, because I think as artists we should all, be able to overindulge, It should be about people coming to you and you being able to take them on a journey instead of the audience or the label or anyone else, or producer even sometimes, the outside producer, dictating what you should do as an entertainer, I mean, that's why Las Vegas exists. That's for entertainers, It shouldn't it shouldn't spread like a disease into all avenues of pop, I think it would be a lot more interesting if bands, just took the listener and the listener gave up altogether and let themselves be taken somewhere.
But